shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.
Recently, Warner Bros. Has announced a new fighting game, in a similar vein to Nickelodeon All-Stars, being primarily based on the style of Smash Bros. Based on the trailer so far, it looks like a lot of fun. Because this game intends to include various characters from Warner Bros., we're looking at a huge pool of potential characters here. Obviously, that's gotten people all over speculating and hoping for certain characters from Warner Bros. To show up. There's a lot of good choices, but there's one character I think deserves it more than most. He's possibly the greatest horror movie villain in cinema. We haven't seen nor heard from him in a while, and I think that's a shame. So, this would be a fine time to see the return of Freddy Krueger, the Springwood Slasher. I want Freddy Krueger so fucking bad. I love Smash Brothers, I love the characters already in the game. Why can't we seal the deal with this being my new favorite thing and add the greatest horror icon ever? He's been in Mortal Kombat already, but I'm kind of hoping to see them go in a different direction here. Leaning more on the cheesy pop culture icon he became in order to fit in better with his cartoony opponents. Alright, so let's really dive into why I think Freddy Krueger is perfect for this game.
Watch this.
I think Freddy would represent the horror genre pretty well, since we don't have any rep for that yet in MultiVersus. I know what your first concern may be. Freddy Krueger is from a hardcore horror series, and our titular bastard son engages in some of the goriest and most creative deaths ever shown on film. Wouldn't it be weird to have him playing around with Steven Universe and Bugs Bunny? Luckily, I don't think MultiVersus cares too much about the origins of the character. As long as Freddy isn't cursing and isn't spraying blood everywhere, he's probably fine. This girl from Game of Thrones is already in, and that show shoves titties and wieners in your face the whole time. Come on! Freddy works! This also means our boy Pennywise can come in too, but that's a completely separate video I should make. Pennywise needs a good campaign behind him too, but since I think he's more likely than Freddy right now, I feel the need to campaign harder for Freddy. Now that we know Freddy can make it in despite his horror status, why should he get in? Why shouldn't he get in is the better question. Everyone knows Freddy, and he hasn't had a real movie in 18 years. A real movie, I said. That didn't happen. Who's that? Point is, people know Freddy. People still fear Freddy. And I've already seen Freddy pop up in a few people's wish lists for this game. People want Freddy, and Freddy wants the souls of your children mostly, but he probably also wants in. As for how Freddy should look in the game, I don't want him to look like he did in Mortal Kombat. I think with the cartoonish art style of this game, Freddy would look better if you based him off of his comic design seen here. I think this design would fit in great with the cast, and I think it could translate fine into 3D. Imagine that little guy running around out there on the battlefield. Speaking of the battlefield, I should probably get into Freddy's potential moveset. Freddy has a variety of reality warping powers, which gives him a lot of potential for a moveset. It looks like this game is going to be having a strong focus on teamwork, with characters having moves that help out their teammates. Steven seems to protect people with a shield, and Bugs lets his teammates crawl around in his tunnels. Now, Freddy isn't much of a team player, but he's gotta help his side win. I think I know what he can do. Maybe have Freddy rip open his sweater to reveal his chest of souls, and for a while Freddy can be fighting with his chest out as the souls fly into his teammate to heal them up. Freddy can say, soul food! That'd be great. You could force Shaggy to swallow fucking souls if you're Freddy. That's the one thing he'd never eat. The soul stuff can also just be its own attack, with a blast of souls coming from his chest to hurt nearby enemies. Maybe it can be his down special? Okay, for basic attacks, Freddy can slash people with his iconic clawed glove. Maybe one of his stronger basic attacks can turn his claws into drills or drug-filled needles. As a recovery, I'm thinking Freddy can stretch his arms out and grab the ledge like a grappling hook. Maybe this move can also be used to grab opponents that are further away and drag them towards Freddy. This could probably be his side special, and it just also functions as a way to get yourself back on the ledge. So, Freddy's up special is still open. Let Freddy ride his broomstick from Freddy's Dead!
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too!
He can use it to temporarily fly around, maybe surround him with some flames so it hurts his enemies if they get caught in his wake. I think giving Freddy a few fire-based moves would be good. You can probably incorporate that with some of his more basic attacks. Maybe his standard special could be a good Freddy fireball. Or maybe let him chuck some souls at you with varying status effects, some of them slowing you down. Alright, here's the last thing I can think of. When Freddy is shielding from damage, instead of like a bubble or something, let him become intangible so opponents phase right through him. That'd be really fun to see. Alright, I think that's all I've got for Freddy's moveset so far. As you can tell, there's a lot of potential here, but we're not done just yet. I keep suggesting that Freddy says stuff when he does his moves, so that could bring us into our next category. MultiVersus is shown to have voice acting. Not even just playing old clips, they've got actual voice actors doing the new lines here. This is what Nick Allstars was lacking. You've gotta have these characters talk so they can express their personalities. That's why we like them. And don't I like Superman? Oh man, I'm glad they made him say this.
Batman versus Superman. Let's settle this once and for all.
Is that right? Okay, the script writing needs a little work on this game. But hey, Freddy just needs to make some puns, alright? That isn't too hard. Obviously, we need to get Robert Englund back for the role. I know he's probably too old to physically play Freddy now, but I don't think he'd mind voicing the man again. He actually did show up as Freddy in 2018, during an episode of The Goldbergs. Didn't expect to see him there, but damn, he still got it! As for the stuff Freddy can say, well, I want to avoid anything resembling super cringeite over there, so make sure Freddy's quips actually make sense. I'd like to see him crack some jokes at specific characters. Maybe he can make some reference to Old Yeller if he's fighting Jake. Besides that though, he can say a few basic things for his attacks. Maybe he can say this.
I'm gonna split you in two.
Whenever he's just doing a generic attack. Since Freddy can also partner up with people, I think it'd be neat for him to say a few things to his partner. He had a little partner in crime during Nightmare 2 with Jesse, so maybe he can say this.
We got special work to do here, you and me.
Those are just a few ideas I had for him. As long as Freddy makes jokes and laughs like a maniac, I'll be happy. Don't make him edgy like the remake though. If Freddy gets in but literally just chuckles to himself and that's it, I'll be disappointed. The last thing I want to talk about is the potential alternate skins Freddy could have. It looks like people are going to be getting 2 different costumes to wear here. I think I know the perfect costume for Krueger. Superman is in this game, so I think it's only right that one of Freddy's costumes fits alongside the Man of Steel.
It's Super Freddy!
Yeah, Super Freddy! Let's get Super Freddy in this shit! Faster than a bastard maniac, more powerful than a local madman! You've gotta bring him into this. I want to beat up Superman as Super Freddy. For the other costume, I think his appearance from Wes Craven's New Nightmare would fit well here. That's one of my favorite entries in the franchise. Alright, what else is there to cover? A good stage for Freddy would be the Boiler Room, but have it shapeshift into other locations, like the bus on the cliff during Nightmare 2, or the Room of Mirrors with Freddy during Nightmare 3. There's some good potential there, but I don't know if that's how stages work here. I'm mostly just thinking of how Smash does stages. If they add music, I'd like to hear Do the Freddy from Freddy's musical album. Come on, throw a dog a bone.
Jump, repeat to the swinging beat of the Freddy.
Well, that's about all the ideas I have for Freddy Krueger here. If he gets in, I'll main him on the spot. Even if I suck with him. Because even if I suck, I'll know deep down that I'm really playing with power.
Now I'm playing with power!